Even Joe Rogan, he's all over Operation Northwoods. He's not touching any conspiracies, but he is really vocal about Operation Northwoods. And Joe is super not conspiracy. He's not fucking with any of that shit no more.
Can he at that level? It's so hard.
Hey, I don't know, man. I don't know. But he's not fucking with them no more. But he does fuck with Operation Northwoods. So,
and if anybody's listening, what is Operation Northwood? We've talked about before, but in case someone's tuning in for the first time, Operation Northwood is where basically a paper, a plan got to JFK's table.
Yeah, when operation means, generally it means like some kind of CIA plan.
Yes.
And there's like Operation
Industrial.
Yeah, it's like a military thing too. Maybe it's not just a CIA thing, but it's either only a CIA thing or a military thing too. It has to be probably just considered a military thing because I think Operation Fishbowl and Operation High Jump was probably done before the birth of the CIA. So I'm not sure about that, but Operation whatever. Operation Paperclip,
Deep
Operation
State. There's military industrial.
This
complex.
is a plan that has been written out. They had to write this shit out.
And it got to JFK's desk, and basically what they wanted to do was fake attacks on airliners to blame it on the Cubans to get America behind a war to invade Cuba.
Yeah, and there's
going to be drones too.
Yeah,
drones. Yeah, they were doing drones way back.
False flag is it's old school. Empire 101, it's real. The government, if they want to attack country A, they have fund some operation to attack ourselves and blame it on country A,
ISIS.
to get everybody on board to kill or to go after country A.
It's the foundation of our country.
If you're not doing that, if every country's not doing that, you guys should be fucking fired, you dumb motherfuckers. That's basic ass Empire 101. You learn that in kindergarten. You try to fucking build an empire.
It's the Tea Party.
Are you kidding me? That's old school shit. You guys aren't doing that? Tell me a country ain't doing that shit. And I'll show you a third world ass country don't got shit who's being run by us.
there are some countries that aren't doing that, but they aren't trying to be world powers and basically run the planet and all that stuff. But basically, ISIS, through time, we found that ISIS is was created by the CIA, funded by the Saudis, armed by us, and they go into countries. Someone put out this really great graphic that showed the countries that we are allies with have not ever been attacked by ISIS. The countries that we have problems with all have been attacked by ISIS.
Well, it's obvious. So this is exactly what I'm saying. And then you take that bullshit, and then you find out that the Pentagon got busted spending like $500 million on making fake terrorist videos.
Oh yeah, by the that's a great story that really got swept under the rug, which was
nobody reported on it. So that's obvious that everyone's in on it. When you see that, a retard can see that. It goes, no, if the mainstream media is not reporting on some real epic shit, they're connected to it. It's simple.
So basically what happened was that it got out that somebody actually at this PR firm came out and told everybody that the CIA paid this very, very powerful and prestigious PR firm to create the ISIS beheading videos. And there's actually someone shot them shooting it against a green screen with the sand and all that stuff. And that, not that they've never beheaded, but when they beheaded all the white guys, they're like, they got Tom Earl from blah, blah, blah. That was it. Now, I know Perlman, that New York City guy was there. That probably really happened, but there were a lot of these videos that got, like, for a while there, I was talking about, who's the greatest social media person? ISIS's social media guy was killing it for a while. I was like, this guy's on fucking fire. He just knows how to get his content everywhere. And then you find out that there's a fat check that went along with getting all that stuff out. And a lot of people, they don't want to believe anything unless it comes out on the three-letter networks. The alphabet networks, they call them. They unless it's told by them. But you have to understand something. like Jimmy Dore talks a lot about this. If you ever watch the Jimmy Dore show, he talks a lot about how Rachel Maddow, right? She makes 30 grand a day doing her show. A day. Do you think she's going to do anything to rock that boat? Do you think she's ever going to go off on her own? Or she understand that she won the lottery, and it's not sports. I could take her out and put another power, good-looking lesbian in there to read a teleprompter and tell you what the deep state wants you to know. This new thing is these verified checks on Twitter. All these people have verified checks. These neoliberals have these, and they just call for, they beat the drums of war. They call for Trump to be thrown out. They're the anti-fascists now. And the truth is, it's astroturfing. And if you don't know what astroturfing is, that's where a fake movement is done through the internet. They make fake profiles, all this shit, and they put out. And these people with these neoliberals with these blue checks by their name on Twitter, they just spew out this propaganda that wants to get done that will never affect them personally. They will call for war constantly, knowing that they will never fight that war.
Professional trolls.
Professional trolls.
Yeah, that's the movie. You know, CNN is part of it, and all the liberals and all the fake
Jeff
shit.
Zucker's from Harvard. There's no more in on that one. Harvard and Yale make up every person on the Supreme Court is from Harvard or Yale. Yeah. Almost every single president is from Harvard and Yale.
It's a club. I want in on that club. There's a lot of cool shit about
Open
the
a jiu-jitsu place in Harvard.
Are you kidding? The Illuminati's got a lot of cool shit. They got to stop fucking kids. They got to stop that.
Which was very interesting. I don't want to do too much.
Once they figured that out, I won't join unless they stop that.
That's the rule. Stop fucking kids. Hey,
listen, I want to join. I want to, dude. I want to be in charge of CNN. Give me that shit every now and then. I want to come up with some shit. I will fuck people up. I want to do that shit. I like trolling motherfuckers. I like getting away with some bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll build another guy. I'll build like a new space station that's like 10 times bigger. And dude, trust me.
What do you think about? I want to get it. We got some stuff we want to talk to you about 9/11. But what do you think about the government who says we don't have enough money to pay for health care for everybody is now just did a giant $100 billion, $200 billion program to start funding military space operations.
Oh my God, that's brilliant! They're brilliant. I would do that if I was if I was in the Illuminati. Brilliant move.
You'd fight aliens.
Are you kidding? Fuck yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. Our final story today, it's a little out there, and I do mean out there. The New York Times breaking the news that the Pentagon has been secretly researching the possible existence of UFOs. Apparently, the Department of Defense launched the program in cooperation with former Senator Harry Reid in 2007, and it spent $22 million each year searching for unidentified flying objects until the program was shuttered back in 2012. Joining us now to talk more about this, one of the authors of yesterday's fascinating New York Times article, journalist Ralph Blumenthal. Ralph, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. Talk to me about the research that went into this article.
Okay, first of all, it was not $22 million a year. It was $22 million total, which is really a drop in the bucket of the Pentagon budget. But it went for research into these objects, and no one knows what they are to this day, that have been seen by Navy planes. They've engaged with them. They've been reported by witnesses. But beyond that, we really don't know much. And the research went into trying to identify their strange means of propulsion, their phenomenal aerodynamics, which represent nothing on the face of this earth by any country. And the research, even though the program was officially, it ran out of money in 2012, it really has continued, we found out.
So what's been going on, and why have they not publicized the fact that it has continued?
Well, it's a controversial program. A lot of people, there's a ridicule factor. A lot of people are afraid of, the people would make fun of the government spending this money, as has already happened in other media.
But there's also a lot of fascination.
There is fascination. This is probably the most watched and looked at story the New York Times has run in a long time because people are fascinated by the subject.
Yeah, so what are they finding? Have they found anything so far?
Well, they have confirmed, in effect, for the first time, that these things exist according to what the program said, that they have established a kind of reality to these objects that didn't exist before, that the government was standing behind, or at least this unit of the Pentagon. They have, as we reported in the paper, some material from these objects that is being studied so that scientists can try to figure out what accounts for their amazing properties, this technology, these objects, whatever they are. So they have made some progress.
What type of material?
They don't know. They're studying it, but it's some kind of compound that they don't recognize. They have, as we reported in the paper, some material from these objects that is being studied so that scientists can try to figure out what accounts for their amazing properties, this technology, these objects, whatever they are. So they have made some progress.
What type of material?
They don't know. They're studying it, but it's some kind of compound that they don't recognize.
So, a lot of questions still. Not a lot of answers.
More questions than answers.
As we always have with UFOs.
Progress.
Yeah, but it really is fascinating stuff. Despite the fact that there is ridicule that
it'll
comes
take
along
some
with
attention away from the day-to-day.
Yeah,
Let's put it that
I'd
way.
like a little respite, wouldn't you?
We could use it.
Yeah, I'd like to talk about UFOs a little bit more these days, I gotta say.
It's a fascinating subject.
Yeah, it certainly is. All right, Ralph Blumenthal, I wish I had more time with you,
Well,
but we have run out of time. Thank you for joining
Thank you.
me. Appreciate it.
Drone, bro. There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. My gosh. They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west. Look at that thing, dude. That's not our LNS though, is it? It's not. That is the LNS, dude. Well, if there's like... Look at that thing. It's rotating.
In Planet Jiu-Jitsu, you ever been to Russia?
I've never been to Russia personally, but there are Russians who are
So if
part
you
of the system.
if you were able to get over to Russia, you could take one of those MiGs, and they would take you up in a. Would you take one of those planes that would get you up above the
no.
ionosphere so you
Fuck
could see
no.
for yourself?
You don't want to go that
no.
far
I don't want to go
saw
see
him do
it.
it on the Wild
I don't
Boys.
give a shit. I don't give a shit.
about space.
I'm not trying to go to Antarctica or nothing like that. Listen.
Why don't you want to go to Antarctica?
I don't want to go.
Why?
Because I'm fucking just to sit and duck.
You think they'll kill you?
Either someone's gonna kill you, or what if the flat earthers are right and it is just an infinite flat plane? You know, the funny thing about that is. People have no problem believing in infinite balls. It's like, infinite balls, yeah. Infinite plane, you fucking retard. Infinite balls.
What do you mean by infinite balls? I've never heard that.
Planets, like just the universe is infinite.
Just goes.
Yeah, it's
just goes.
Planets forever, stars forever.
Yes.
Infinite balls.
Right.
Yeah. Infinite plane. No. No. Infinite balls, yes. Infinite plane, no.
Okay.
I often wonder if like the flat earthers are maybe just mistaking simulation theory.
What do you? What's your thought
or
on
that we're in a-
simulation theory?
That we're in a holographic universe.
Maybe, I don't know.
So maybe
all I know is this. All I know is whatever the mainstream media is saying, it's not it's the other side. What is the other side saying? It's always that. It's the mainstream media is never saying the right shit.
Right.
Never.
When did that start? Always?
Never,
Has it
never,
always been like that?
never.
That's what television was created for,
So
radio?
like when everyone's pushing global warming, we need to stop global warming. I'm on the other side. The other side is that's just a fucking tax scam. You're scamming everything else. You can follow the money real quick. That's a tax scam. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to do a carbon tax. Oh, let's scare everybody with global warming. Who's behind that shit? Al Gore? Come on, man. Already you're like, come on, man. That guy's a criminal. And he's the dude. So whatever they're all collectively saying, like
His daughter married a Rothschild.
Everybody collectively says something about North Korea, like Kim Jong Un,
Who doesn't
got a
have a
haircut,
federal
and then everyone had to have
centralized
the same
bank.
haircut. Everybody pushed that story. Remember that story?
Doesn't have a centralized bank.
Maybe. Who knows what North Korea is? I think North Korea is just a prison camp of actors. They're forced actors. I think that. I don't know. I don't know. All I know is whatever they're all collectively saying, like Kim Jong-un just got a haircut, and you like shave the sides, and if you don't get that haircut, you go to fucking prison forever.
That's some crazy shit.
And then
That's some
everybody jumped
Godfrey
on it,
shit.
and then you look into it, it's all bullshit.
Now let me. Ask
Everybody's
you
into. So basically, anytime the mainstream media agrees on
Tells you
something
something.
overall,
Yes.
it can't be the truth.
Right.
It can't be.
I respect that.
You can never look at a CNN headline and ever think they're looking out for you. It's some kind of shit that's looking out for them.
Do all the
That's
players at CNN know that, or do they think they're doing a real good job? Or
Everybody
are
at
they in on it?
CNN, maybe at the low level, like the cameraman, don't need to know. I think everything generally, when you're running an empire, you're fucking trying to dominate, everybody's on a need-to-know basis. Like, that's always the fucking number one rule. You know what I mean? We're trying to run a fucking empire here. It's not good that everybody knows everything.
Yep. Okay,
That's
let
not
me
good.
address that
How's
real
that
quick.
Good?
I've
Explain to me
had-
how that's good. I think it's good because are we going to get more power if everybody knows everything?
No,
Explain to
that's
me
a
that we're going to get
wonderful
more
point.
power. Explain to me, prove to me that it turns out that we're going to get more power if everybody knows the truth. Then I'll tell them the truth.
I've had people come up and say that to me, and they go like, "Well, wouldn't somebody come out and say something?" And we've had that, and these people get demonized. Look at Bill Cooper, right? Is that his name? The Behold the
Everyone's
Pale
getting
Horse?
suicided. Are you
Yeah,
kidding?
everyone's getting suicided.
We had a couple
The guy's
days ago.
life went to shit. They made his life miserable to the point where they ambushed him and kill him. Listen, I was talking to Tom Segura like that. He's like, wouldn't someone come out? I'm like, dude, to move up these levels, it's like they go painstakingly through the details of your life. They are spying on you. NASA, you don't get to the top of NASA or the top of wherever you're working at within the government, the Federal Reserve, Wall Street, unless they know exactly everything about you, your fucking soul, everything. So if you show even an inkling that you won't play ball, you don't get moved up and you get thrown out.
Fuck yeah.
And the guys who move up, so when you get to the highest levels where you know all this
Entertainment
shit's going
as well.
on,
Entertainment.
you
as
got to
well.
play ball. I mean, there's guys I watch, I go, I wouldn't doubt it that motherfucker is a pedophile. And I've talked to you, and I'm not going to say their names, but I watch these guys. They're these beta dudes with these feminine fucking traits who just moved very quickly in this town. And you're like, huh, sums up. Like, have you heard the
Somebody suck some dick.
Daniel Tosh? I'm like, I don't care if you suck dick. I mean, I'm talking kid dick, though. That's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
Hey, that's what I'm talking
Daniel
about,
Tosh
too.
did a big thing on YouTube about these children, these really creepy YouTube channels that are kid shows. But if you watch them, they're very fucking pornographic. And you're like, and Daniel's like, 10 billion views on these videos. You don't think that the fucking government finds out who clicks on these videos and starts watching these guys, and maybe one of these dudes suddenly like, hey, I think I'm going to run for office. Boom. We're going to fast track this motherfucker because he likes fucking kids. And we're going to put him in a weird fucking place, and we're going to fucking, and we're going to film him. There's a famous producer that used to do that, who would throw these coke and hooker parties, and then when it came time for you to renegotiate your fucking contract, he'd throw a video of you fucking licking some tranny's asshole. And he's like, okay, you're going to take this number or else it's going to get out. It's systematic, dude.
It's all blackmail.
It's all blackmail.
Yeah, that's it. That's how you would do it. That's the genius of it.
Look
the
at Chuck Schumer.
Hey,
Look
if
at
you
all
let
these
me
guys. They're so feminine. They have feminine, super feminine, and that is not against gay guys or trannies or whoever you are. You do you. But there's something going on with these guys that they get very high up. Like that Lindsey Graham. Does anyone think he's not a flaming gay? Lindsey Graham, the Southern Republican guy who talks with a lisp, and every time he opens his mouth, a purse falls out. I mean, are we actually not thinking this guy has done some shady shit to be the voice of everything?
Most people don't know that.
Allegedly.
Most people don't know that. You know what's a trip about those 6 moon missions? Check this out. I just thought about this the other day. Isn't it fucking weird that every moon mission had different astronauts? Buzz Aldrin, Neil Armstrong, and that other dude, and that third dude, they go up, they do the impossible, the most dangerous thing of all. They fucking land some shit on the moon. They can't even launch rockets on Earth that good. And you're going to launch you're going to launch something from the moon, and then you trash everything and get rid of all the data? Come on, man. Come on. So that was like 1969. So can you imagine Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin when they found out they weren't going to go up like for the second mission? Why wouldn't you send the same motherfuckers? Because the guys that actually did it have the experience.
Yeah,
they've done it. They've been there. No, let's fucking experiment every mission.
They drove a golf cart on them. They were doing donuts on the moon.
Yeah.
Like, how does that? Like, I look at those, I see that, I'm like, they were boning out doing some like Dukes of Hazzard shit.
Even
on the moon?
skeptics these days are going, but they're going, yeah. This is what skeptics are saying now. They're going, yeah, they probably faked the moon missions, but you know what? It's a different time. Russians and stuff were powerful. We had a race with the moon. So, then like, wait a minute. You were just saying I was a nut 3 years ago. And now you're like, yeah, they probably faked it. But, you know, the Russians, bro. The Russians.
No, I'm with you,
It was
dude.
a race. Like, bitch, don't change that shit. You
weirdest
fucking said I
thing-
was crazy 3 days. You say you were wrong, motherfucker. Don't say, oh, you knew it the whole time.
That's
like you knew it the whole time. Like now with
worse than
chemtrails.
death.
Now with chemtrails, now they're like, oh yeah, dude, they're just doing some weather experiments.
Yeah.
Like, bitch, you said that was the tinfoil crazy shit 8 years ago. And now it's like, yeah, if they're doing it to save fucking the planet. It's for global warming. It's not a secret, bro. It's not. They've been talking about.
If I said to
They've
you,
been talking about.
if I
It's not a
said to you,
secret.
Eddie, or anybody, you, Ryan, if I said to you, boxing is corrupt, 99% of the population would say 100%. And I go, why is it corrupt? And they'll go, because it's money, they're making money, they're doing this. I'm like, what about the biggest sporting event in the world? War, space, government. That's the biggest sporting event in the world. We're talking the Pentagon has either lost or spent $13 trillion since 9/11.
And that's another beautiful thing.
Is
Jesus
it?
Christ. Are you kidding? They could just say, hey, we're missing fucking 2.3
No, there's
trillion.
no accounting.
We
to
don't
the
know where it's
Pentagon.
all. We're going to get to the bottom of it. And then that's it. And then everybody's just like, you guys are crazy. You guys are crazy. They could just say it. They know, like, getting back to OJ, Michael Jackson, and Bill Cosby. They were they were high level. You know,
Right.
they were about as high level. They were up there rubbing
But are
shoulders.
you saying
But
to me
no, what
that
I'm
you don't
saying-
think they did any of this stuff?
No.
Michael Jackson is the
No,
only one where
no,
you're like,
no.
You don't think
no.
Bill Cosby raped?
I'm not even done talking. I'm
Okay.
just saying, relax.
All right, go
I haven't
on.
even started.
All right, I'm
I'm
listening.
saying that what do all three of them have in common? All three of them have in common is they've been accused of the worst possible shit. Bill Cosby, 50 rape, not just rape, 50 rapes.
Right.
And then Michael Jackson, not just one incident, fucking decades of incidents.
Yes.
And then OJ, the worst slaying. Fuck Charles Manson.
Right.
Dude, that chick got sliced up, and then Ronald Goldman got. That was a serious murder. OJ. You know what all three of them have in common?
Black.
They all got off. They all got off. Like, how did they get off? They're connected. How do all the Vatican priests and all that? You know the guy in Australia? Check this out. The guy in Australia, there's a big cardinal.
Yeah, right now.
Guess what? I'm going to make a prediction.
Yeah.
Nothing happens to him. They tell him, that's like you're going to have to run through the shit, make it look like you're going down. But guess what? When it's all said and done, acquitted. And then it's news for a week, and then it's
Yeah. Well, that was the whole theory.
you gotta run. I think they make him. I think Bill Cosby, OJ. I don't know. OJ could have went 3 different ways. He could have been the killer. I don't know. Could have been his son, or that's a theory. There's a documentary on it, and it could have been. Another theory was that OJ hired a guy to rob her jewelry that was his. And he paid him, and some guy, he's like a serial killer, hired for, he was supposed to rob her, but Ron Goldman or whatever was
Stopped
there.
it.
And then it was like a...
Shit just got weird.
Yeah, shit got weird. It could be that. It could be that or a son, because the son conspiracy theory, that's a deep one. You gotta watch that one. OJ, the untold story, watch that angle. And then, of course, he did it. I think 100% he knew what was going on. You watch that Netflix documentary about Robert Kardashian's bag, about the bag.
Yeah.
When you know, that's an example. You know, that's what made me. That was the censure. That was the censure right there. Watching that documentary, the fact that Robert Kardashian was on video with that bag, that Louis Vuitton bag filled with shit.
Yeah.
They caught him on camera walking out of OJ's house while OJ was being arrested, and they saw him like just walk away, and he never accounted. They never asked him for it. It was never brought in as evidence or anything. You know what that tells me?
Right.
We just got to get through this goddamn trial. It's going to be a media circus. It's going to be ugly. You ready for it? It's going to be ugly. Just keep your head down and just keep moving forward. And what happens?
It's almost like a blood
people are gonna
sacrifice.
forget. You just get through. It's you. Something happened. Something happened, and he just said, "Hey, you guys got to get me the fuck out.
There is
I'll bring
something
you
about
all
when
down. I'll
somebody
bring you all
dies.
down." And Michael Jackson, are you kidding me? Michael Jackson's like, motherfucker, Walt Disney and shit. He got all them kids. How come I can't have kids? You know what I mean? Everybody around Michael Jackson was so confident, he didn't give a fuck. He was young and was already with little boys. Young. He was with early Michael Jackson, 1974, 1976 Michael Jackson was already with kids.
Yeah.
He was with kids all the time. That was Michael. He was the dude at Studio 54 where he was hanging out with all the divas. All like Liza Minnelli and shit. He wasn't hanging out upstairs partying with everybody. That's what people said. Well, Michael Jackson there, he was hanging out with the chicks. Like the
fag hags.
Barbara Streisand and shit like that.
Yeah.
And like Patti LaBelle.
Yeah.
He was, I don't know, man. I don't know. You know, I don't give a fuck. You know what? No one cares about the kids. No, people are acting like they care about the kids.
Yeah.
When you bring up Sandy Hook, there was 20 kids. Like, listen, it could have been 20 fucking gorillas. It didn't fucking matter. You look into shit. Shit happens. It looked kind of fishy. There was a drill going on at the same time.
Yeah, that's
so
it.
there's all these false flags going on everywhere, and all of a sudden CNN's reporting on it. So you already got to go. What is CNN putting on? Oh, it's CNN's putting it on. So whatever they're saying. So already, based on all the lies that are coming from CNN and all the Operation fucking Northwoods and all these false flags and 9/11 and Tower 7, of course, when you see an incident like Sandy Hook, whether it was, I don't know. It looks like when you look into it, there's a lot of fishy shit. There's nothing wrong with investigating. And the fact that there's people going after people questioning it, that's a sign. That's a sign right there. That lets you know, don't act like you care about these 20 kids. What about all the fucking kids in Iraq that you fucking killed? How about the 1 fucking million civilians that you fucking killed? Why don't you talk about that shit? And why don't you talk about the fucking, hey, do you know that if you look into it, there's tremendous evidence that there's a gigantic pedophile ring in Washington, D.C. It's gigantic. There's all this evidence. We don't have time to talk about it, but there's all this crazy evidence. And guess what? 800,000 to 1 million kids a year get kidnapped. And that's part of the whole pedophilia ring thing is they kidnap kids. And they put them, they torture, they kill them, they rape them, they put them into prostitution. That's what they do.
A lot
That's
of
what's
people
going on.
think that the kids that are these homeless people that are so insane, they think they're part of that, that they use and abuse, and then they just chuck them out.
Probably. I wouldn't doubt it. That makes sense to me. They're going somewhere. So it turns out there's 800,000 to 1 million kids get kidnapped, and most of them from Washington, D.C. I mean, how retarded do people have to be?
Yeah, why would you live with a kid in
people
Washington,
defend
D.C.?
that. People are like, that's not true. That's not true. Instead of like, you know what? That's true, motherfucker. That's true. Is that real true? Like, no, it's not true. Where'd you learn that on YouTube? No. He's like denying. Like that's the real problem. You're talking about some really odd, strange event that happened at Sandy Hook. People are questioning because there's a lot of it. Just the fact that you can get hammered for questioning. Listen, we're trying to figure out what happened. 20 kids died. We want to know what the fuck happened. Relax. We're trying to look into the truth. Don't you want the truth? The truth has already been told. The truth has already been told. Let it go. Let it go.
Why did
Jesus
they do that?
Christ.
Why?
Because there's some fucking racket going on. There's a racket going on. And so everyone's quiet. about 1 million kids getting kidnapped a year. That's 1 million kids getting kidnapped, and you're talking about 20 kids that may or may have not died. I don't know. Maybe they did. Maybe they didn't. I don't know. There's some fishy ass shit. When
That's
you look
why I
into
was
that.
telling Tom
That's
to go
fishy ass shit.
Eddie, let me ask you something. Why do you think when people, if I go, do you think politicians are liars and corrupt? What percentage do you think would say, yes, they're liars and corrupt? What percentage, right?
70%.
I would say you're
100.
way low, and I would say 100% of people.
Even my mom would say, they're corrupt.
That they're corrupt and full of shit. Yet they take these, on certain things, they take them at face value all the time.
Yep. I think that's massive.
They defend, like, I tell people, I do a joke about it. I'm like, you are defending people you don't even know. You are arguing with people on Facebook, with people who, your mother who brought you into this world, wiped your butt until you could do it yourself. You are arguing with her over Hillary and Trump. Two people you've never met, most likely will never meet, know no details of them unless of what they've wanted you to know. And most of that is PR bullshit. Yet, you fight tooth and nail because they got the same letter by the name.
It's
right?
It's fascinating.
Because we have to.
They defend them. They're like defending all the information coming from NASA. Let's defend them. They've been so good to us. Yes, I do admit they faked them moon missions. I do admit that. But you know what? They got their shit together, and they really are looking for us. We're really trying to get to Mars, okay?
Yeah.
We're really trying to get to Mars, all right? It's going to cost billions and billions, but we could do this. We're already getting our rovers. We're going to have fucking shopping malls on Mars before you know it. You know what? Basically, everything you see on TV is bullshit. 100%.
I'm in a relationship with a woman I care very much about. I come home, she watches television. I question whether I should be in this relationship anymore. She's watching CNN all the time. I love her with all my heart, man. But she can't stop watching because she thinks she's being informed. And you gave me the best quote ever, that it's better, what was the old saying? That's better to be uninformed than misinformed. And I can't agree with that more. It is better to fucking not know what's going on than not know what's really going on. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's better to have I don't know what the fuck's going on, than be like, oh yeah, they're, serious chemically, they're using chemicals on their people, and we have to go in there and save them. But even though our bombs kill more of them than Assad does, we're fighting for freedom. And though the wars never end.
Yeah, just like North Korea. Since the Korean War, how many countries has North Korea invaded? Versus how many countries have we invaded and killed?
We
millions
are
of people?
the empire.
I think we've invaded at least 30 countries since then, and North Korea has invaded none.
I
don't even think North Korea is real.
We have special forces.
I'm beginning to think it's not real.
What?
I'm beginning to think it's not real. I don't know, man. There's something. It's like a prison acting camp. It's just
those guys are getting SAG vouchers.
Think about the mainstream timeline. All right.
Yeah.
Korea was run by Japan. Japan owned Korea.
Yes.
And then after World War II, Japan lost.
Yes.
So the United States took South Korea, and North Korea went to the Soviets after World War II. This is mainstream shit. This isn't a conspiracy. This is what they tell you.
Yes.
Right?
This is in the
So
book.
then in the Korean War,
it's been tight.
So North Korea was taken over by the Soviets.
Yes.
And
by the way, everybody who got taken over by the Soviets got the shit end of the deal, right? East Germany, North Korea, they got all the shit stuff. The guys we took over, they got porn, anime, octopus fucking porn, right?
Yeah, South Korea lucked out.
Yeah.
But North Korea, after World War II, got taken over by Russia, and it appeared to be just like super ultra Stalin. Like they decided, okay, we got this country. It's almost like the Soviets wanted to experiment. They put an Asian, a Korean looking dude. There's a lot of Asian Russians. They took one of their guys who's Asian.
Go to Kazakhstan.
They put him in.
A Russian fucked an Asian and made these people.
Yeah, so
they totally look like Russian Asians.
That was the first czar of North Korea, super Russian, like super worship the ruler, the dictator, the tyrant. They just want to experiment, so they went crazy with it. And then they started fucking with South Korea, and then that's when the Korean War started. Again, this is all mainstream knowledge. And then we went in during the Korean War and made 18 cities disappear.
What?
That's mainstream.
Yep.
18 cities were leveled.
Firebombed.
Firebombed. So the Soviets they backed out, and then supposedly China took over, like governing it, but not really occupying it, but kind of just governing it, because the Soviets retreated. Okay, that's where it's kind of get weird. After the Korean War, now it's a weird that's when the weird North Korea started. Soviets leave.
Yeah.
Chinese are governing it.
Yeah.
And then it leads to what's going on today. Watch those films. There's something. It's almost like they need a country to distract everybody with. Oh, they're testing missiles. Like, motherfucker, there's not even nuclear bombs, motherfucker. So when you say that, like, you don't even have nuclear. It's a big TV show. You watch.
I know I've talked to people about that, Eddie, about how, like, in Japan, you have these guys that leveled this. I mean, like, if you go on Mars, right? They tested the soil of Mars. I think, were you telling me this?
Xenon 129.
Yeah, it's nuclear weaponry level uranium, right?
Weapons grade
radiation, right?
Weapons grade uranium.
Yes.
Well-
Nobody lives on there, okay? Because there's this whole theory that it used to be something, and someone dropped a bomb the size of the Empire State Building on it. This is the theory,
Mars.
right? This is the theory, okay? Yeah. In Japan, if you dropped a bomb on Hiroshima, you can't move right in there.
Yeah.
It's done.
Yeah.
For a lot, I mean, like, we're not even talking like Chernobyl. I mean, you go by Chernobyl, it took forever for people to move back there after that, and that was just a fucking.
Depends on what information you take, but it turns out Chernobyl is fine, and it's always been fine. They just made everyone evacuate. You got to make it look dangerous. They sacrifice cities for that. If there's a nuclear plant that blows up, they got to make it's got to be dangerous, because isn't this the shit, nuclear energy that causes radiation, and you got to move out. So everybody moves out. They sacrifice the city, but they really don't have to. They could just go right back in, and just like coal plants blow up, they blow up and people die, people melt, they blow up, then they put it back together, patch it up, reopen it, nobody moves out. You could do the same thing. This is the conspiracy theory about nuclear energy. That it's just used for fear. They try to figure it out, and the Manhattan Project, that's what it was all about, trying to figure out. The theory was, if you could split the atom inside of a bomb, oh my God, this bomb is going to be like fucking 100 times more powerful than a regular conventional bomb. It was a theory. Yeah, we got to split the atom. Well, how are we going to split an atom inside of a bomb? Like, that was the whole thing. That was what the Manhattan Project was about. So they spent fucking $1 trillion on that shit, trying to figure it out. There was like a race, like the race to the moon. Same thing. It was a fake race to the moon. It was a fake race to making the ultimate weapon. And you know what? They couldn't figure it out. This is the conspiracy theory. And they say, yeah, we dropped the bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. They did destroy those cities, but they firebombed them just like they did every other city, but they pretended that it was nuclear bombs, and it wasn't. They never figured it out. It was a theory that never got figured out. And then they realized, we don't even have to fucking figure it out. People think it's real. It doesn't really matter.
It's so crazy.
I'm envisioning, hear me this out, a part Vice show, part Anthony Bourdain, maybe even part science, and they take Eddie Bravo around the world. Vice can get you into North Korea. They take you to places.
I don't give a shit. I like the fact that they're fooling people. I think it's brilliant. I don't want to blow that shit. I want to join that shit. You just got to
You're on your
stop
way.
fucking kids.
I like it.
You got to stop fucking kids.
That's all
And then
he
we
wants.
gotta fire
Stop
some people in NASA. Because if I go to Illuminati, dude, there's some bullshit you guys got to fix first. You got to fix that motherfucker who keeps saying you destroy. He goes, he was one of the astronauts. They got to
I think it's weird they never did an interview. Like,
One
Like,
of the
never.
an astronaut of today
Ever.
He goes, I would go to the moon in a nanosecond. He says this on video. I would go to the moon in a nanosecond, except that we destroyed all the technology, and it's been really painful trying to put it back together.
Unbelievable.
Like who the fuck let that guy? How is that guy still alive? I would right away. I go. What you have to do is you have to make a hoax video that guy never worked for NASA. Really easy.
And
get
kill him.
Mick West on the case.
Yeah.
He's the fucking master
Suicide.
of that.
He needs a suicide.
No, he never existed. He's crazy.
Yeah.
Delete all his records. from
Never
NASA.
worked with us.
You got to make some debunking videos that guy is like that was a hoax video.
Didn't they
'Cause
do that
that's
with the
like,
CERN
you
guy?
You can't be saying you destroyed all the technology, and it was 6 missions. You would
Is it
think,
CERN or
You would
CERN?
think they destroyed. Okay, you destroyed one of. Okay, I get it. That's horrible. You destroyed all the data and all the telemetry data and all the raw audio and video footage for one mission. Thank God you did 5 other ones, right? Thank God you destroyed all of them.
Yeah.
They're all gone.
I'm with
They're
you,
all
dude.
gone.
It just-
like you guys can't be talking about that shit. You got to keep that shit under. You can't talk about
On
that
9/11, dude, the owner of the Twin Towers, Larry Weinstein is his name, or it's like Weinberg, Weinstein, something like that.
Silverstein, Larry Silverstein.
Larry Silverstein. He was there he had bought it like 6 months before. He was there every day, except that one day. He was not. That was the first day. Him and
It's
no one in
beautiful.
his family
It's beautiful.
went there.
You don't have to be good and everyone believes. You know what I mean? You could be. I think they get off on like the biggest, like the fact that they released 5 angles of Tower 7 going down. The fact that they didn't somehow get a hold of that video footage, like get fucking what's that dude Jason Bourne on the case.
Yeah.
Get dudes like that. There's plenty of dudes like that.
Oh,
they
they
really
are.
exist.
So,
Those movies are based
please
on
don't
real
come to
people.
my house.
Get 10 of those motherfuckers. Operation Destroy that fucking video. How did they love that shit? They gotta love that shit because they could have easily squashed that.
They
video.
love the fun.
They
But
got
I
checked
also
out.
think that sometimes
They loved it.
they're so smart, but they're so busy, and shit gets through the cracks, and they fuck up.
And they know-
these giant things that with a million
Yeah,
moving pieces.
maybe
sometimes
maybe
the
they
pieces
try
fall.
their best. They try their best, but they know when there's a fuck up, they're like, "So what? What's gonna happen? Nothing's gonna happen. Nobody is going to jail."
Boston Massacre,
When
Boston
you're-
Marathon.
that's the
What do you
cool-
think?
That's the cool thing about the Illuminati. Seriously, though.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah,
Minus the kid fucking.
yeah.
Get rid of that.
Minus the kid fucking.
Let's just assume they got rid of that.
Okay.
And they ask you to join the Illuminati, dude. You're above the law. You can get away with murder.
Yeah.
I'm not saying like I want to kill people and I'm a murderer. I love
You
my
want to
family.
get get jumped in without the violence or the sexual
but you
depravity.
You never know when you might have to kill a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? That could come up. You know what I mean?
Are you? Is this kind of you're putting it out there?
Hey, stop fucking kids. No more. The Satanism's cool. I like the Satanism. Can you imagine, dude? Going to
We've done a
Church of
couple
Satan?
episodes-
Going to Church of Satan? Can you imagine?
We've done a couple episodes on that.
Dude, can you
We
imagine?
talked about it.
Oh, dude, they probably play Slayer in church and it's not bad.
Yeah.
They'd be like, yeah, that's kind of cool.
I know something happened.
Oh, the Church of Satan would be fucking awesome.
Are we Church of Satan? Or are we?
The Satanic Temple.
We're Satanic Temple.
Dude, that's cool. Being above the law, come on, motherfucker.
Come on.
Come on.
What are we, Steven Seagal?
Come on, come on.
Steven Seagal.
Everybody wants to be friends with cops and
Eddie
shit.
Bravo's
You know what I mean?
above the
Oh, I don't want to be above the law. I want to pay for my crimes. I want to pay. Fuck that. You get in the Illuminati. Look at Bill Clinton. Oh my God, that guy's never going to jail. You know how much shit he's done?
How he's done?
Dude,
a lot.
he's like, he don't give a fuck.
Fucked
He don't
everything.
give a
Killed
fuck.
everybody.
Hillary's not going to jail.
Ever.
They probably told Hillary, man, we're going to release a lot of fucking emails. She's like, oh, shit. You know nothing's going to happen. She probably was like, oh, it's going to just, nothing's going to happen. So what? What are you going to go to jail?
Oh, shit.
What are you going to go to jail? Nobody's going to jail. There's no jail. No one went to jail for 9/11.
Nope.
No one's going to jail.
The only
for
dude to ever
9/11.
go to jail who was an elitist was Bernie Madoff, and the only reason he went to jail is because he ripped off rich people. If he'd ripped off poor people, he'd still be walking around. He ripped off rich people.
Yeah.
And they knew something was up because his returns were the only ones that weren't ebbing and flowing with the market, and he was giving them huge returns, and they were just, we love it.
How fun would it be brainwashing people? Think about it. That would be fucking fun. Oh my god,
Dude, have you ever looked
And then
into
you know
some of
what?
this
And then
shit?
you know what? You're one of those. You go on. You get in the Illuminati, and the people that are way on the other side. There's nothing you can say or do. You just fuck with them. But you give like the people that know. You give them like a little love. You leak a little info. You know what I mean? You leak a little.
You and I disagree on Alex Jones. I think that's what he does.
Declassify some shit. Let people know and shit.
I think that's why Alex
And
Jones.
you know what? People can talk shit about Alex Jones, but you know what? Woodish. I think people. He doesn't want. Listen. He talks about CNN being fake news, and
Yeah.
he talks about the pedophilia scene that's engulfed the government. He talks about that all the time. How the fuck can he be a shill when he's trying to expose what's holding everything together? How could he be a shill? Because he doesn't talk about Israel? Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he's like you know what? He
Well,
starts
it's not
talking
that.
about.
It's
He
just
talks about North Korea, and you know how I feel about North Korea. I'm like, you know what? He's using North Korea as a
It's this Islamic
way,
jihadist
as,
stuff.
as his way.
Anybody into fucking conspiracies or understanding of the deep state? No, the Islamic jihadists is just bullshit. That we're bombing the fuck out of them, and they're just mostly defending themselves. That we're the back. When you say Islamic jihadists, when you're crying about Syrian refugees, now if he goes to me, hey, dude, the UN put out something in the 1990s, replacement population, in which they say they're going to replace the European population with fucking immigration. I would respect that. But when you're talking about Islamic jihadists, when you know they're on the payroll, that they're not the enemy, that's some fake shit.
But listen,
I question that.
But listen, I get it. But you got to remember what your agenda is. Everybody has a different agenda. There's 9/11 experts, and that's all they want to hear. And any other conspiracy theory, they shoot it down because they don't want it to discredit all the work they've done. And then there's JFK guy experts. They don't believe 9/11 because that'll discredit their JFK work. There's all these guys, and they think everybody who doesn't agree with them is a shill. But the fact is, everybody is. The more you're into something, that's your thing. Like maybe the whole Syrian thing or whatever, jihadist. That's your thing. To Alex Jones, his main thing is that America thrives. So if it means he knows that we're there funding ISIS, and he knows, he's like, but you know what? I don't give a fuck about them. I'm going to say whatever it takes to make us benefit. He might not even believe in North Korea and nuclear bombs, but what he'll say is he'll use that to manipulate something that's good for America. So people take that as he's a shill. But one thing's for certain, he brings up the glue that's holding all this, the whole globalist network, the elitists, the Illuminati. What's holding it all together is the children. And Alex Jones talks about that every day. So I'm like, he's talking about that. There's no way he's working for them. They would say, you don't need to talk about it that much.
I respect that.
You know what I mean? He talks about it all the time. That's the most taboo shit. That's the shit that everyone's being blackmailed on. That's why everyone's corrupt.
Yeah.
That's why everyone's keeping their mouth
Yeah.
shut. That's why everyone's doing
Yeah.
diabolical shit.
Yeah.
That's why the media is
Yeah.
nothing but lies and fake. They're all in on it, and they're trying to, and he's bringing it up all the time. So just because he's not bringing up Israel all the goddamn time, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, he's protecting the Jews. You know what happens is we're all indoctrinated to believe that if you start talking about Jews, that you're anti-Semitic, and then that fucks up all his shit. His shit.
No,
is
I get
trying
that.
to get
I didn't
America
say anything
right.
about
he goes,
that.
He does,
I fight
why even bring up
anti-Semitism
the whole?
on this show.
There's flat Earth guys that were all into the you can consider them Holocaust deniers, but they won't bring up the Holocaust shit when they're trying to push flat Earth. Why not? Why don't you start with the Holocaust denier shit? You know why? Because you can't start with that because you'll lose everybody.
Yeah.
You gotta wait. You want to sell flat Earth? You better not start with the fucking Holocaust denier shit. You shut the fuck up about that. So people don't realize that they're all in their own
Well, you
world,
say that
calling
about-
each other a shill when there's. The shills are obvious out there. They're obvious. And Alex Jones is not saying shill shit. He's not saying, he's every day bringing different people who are working on breaking down the pedophilia network that's holding everything together, that everyone's being blackmailed by. Alex Jones is talking about that every day. If he was working for them, it was like, we don't need to be talking about that, motherfucker. Talk about some fucking tax
That is a
shit.
valid
Talk
point.
about some tax shit. How we're stealing this and how we're stealing that. Don't fucking bring up the kid shit.
I got
That's
you.
the deepest shit of all. He brings it up all the time. So that tells me, and I know Alex. I know if he was a paid shill, he would be like a double agent to me because I've hung out with him. I partied with him. Spent a weekend in Vegas with him, in Austin with him, hung out with him. He is the exact same person that you see. He's the exact same person. He'd sit here and talk about the same thing. He doesn't use teleprompters. Alex Jones, people are fucking jealous of him. That's what's going on. They're jealous. He is a little bit crazy. He is. He said he goes fucking wild and crazy, and then they edit that shit together to make him look like a loon, and it works. People go, oh, he's a loon, because they do it all the time. Just like the thing when you said, hey, dude, Alex. It says that Alex Jones is saying that the headline was
Children in space.
NASA denies InfoWars claim that there's a child traffic colony on Mars. That's what the mainstream media said, but it didn't go down like that. I actually listened to it, knew this was coming. I was like, oh, this is what they're going to say tomorrow. He had some ex-CIA whistleblower guy talking about the pedophilia network that's going on. He went deep, and you're thinking he's real. And then he says, the rumor is that there's a pedophilia network in Mars where they're colonizing with the kids. And then right there, I'm like, oh shit, this guy's a plant. He's here to fuck shit up. They're going to use that. And Alex goes, oh, I don't know anything about that. I talk about things that we can prove, and that we can prove. We know that this guy did it. We can prove that. I'm talking about things we can prove. He wasn't even entertaining that. This guy, this guest via phone, ex-CIA whistleblower. And then Alex Jones, once the headline came out that NASA had to make a public statement denying InfoWars claims. Come on, man. So you can't trust shit they say.